Another module which is very important to be measured. Cut or slicing specifications. Cutting lettuce heads passes through many processes from deckering until the final bagging. According to some factors, the cuts differ according to head sizes. The other factors which affect the cut sizes during processes shall be identified and measured for each head size. The idea is to identify the final product specifications at any random bag, but not after checking the final product. No, we are seeking to predict the quality inside the final bags before processing. The right way is to record each delivery details and predict the quality of each delivery inside the final bags before processing. So, the production manager will be able to see his final cuts before he starts processing. This is the main scope. Let's start. Slicing specs traceability. After identifying the variables that affect lettuce cut sizes, and specifying which of them are inevitably happen and monitoring some variables, for example machine settings, workers, head size, measurement guy and heads handling, then we have to record the effects with regard to heads weight. This is a best practice to be able to identify the actual final specs inside the bags from the first stage of receiving raw heads. Common traceability measures were taken per each head weight to standardize the cut sizes in a table to be as a reference and to study the effect of the head's weight and accordingly the slicing machine capabilities against the standard specs. Samples were taken after the slicing machine and the processing stages after that are not accounted, because we are looking for the perfect actual cuts and how to improve forward/keep them. Notes. One head size was changed between 250 to 850 G and in all cases, there were no conformance with to the specs. 2. The experiment included all head sizes. 3. Machine produces unneeded cuts bigger than 6 mm in width over 50%, out of specs. 4. Cuts less than 1.3 cm in length, to be less than 5%, is in range just after the slicing machine. But 3. The ratio 4 increases during washing in the second basin to 1% and after the centrifuge is 1%, which is the cuts 5 got shacked and broken from 2 to 3% over the required limit, 5%, according to the head size. 5. Another side effect for shaking slices appears in the slices between 1.3-3.8 cm which increase 6 about 17%, according to the table below. After first basin 5%, after second basin 16%, after centrifugal units 19%, final product, bags, 22%. A proactive presentation is done to give info about the product in contrast to McDonald's specs during processing based on the raw material used. From the very beginning we will be able to know the slice's shape with numbers inside the final bags. Notice when the full head gets into the slicing machine then the knife will produce lots of the rejected wide cuts, because the front and back part of the head is rounded and produce cuts that violates the standards and the required specs. Recommendations to solve this problem: the heads to be cut into 2 halves and each half to be placed on the side being cut to be downward before insertion to the knife.